Hello all and welcome to Fresh, Backstage Society's new Freshers Really Excellent show. My name is Alex and I will be your host for tonight. We've got some music, a comedy set, a few monologues and a dance number to round off the night as well, so we should be in store for a really fun night. For those of you who don't know, Fresh is brand new this year and has been run and organised completely by Backstage. And right now it's being run by their freshers, so if the lights go down and my mic turns off, do not worry. So after the past 18 months, we thought it would be a great idea to get everyone in this room and get them involved as possible, and you're going to see that tonight. Freshers is a bit of a theme for the show, if the name didn't give that away already, and most of our performers will be a fresher tonight. And if you look around the room, there's Backstage dotted all around as well, and as I just said, they are also freshers. And we've also got LSTV here too, and they are also freshers. But first up tonight, we have Alice and Mariel from Open Theatre, who'll be performing 3 monologues.
I was 9 years old at a birthday party at a friend's house. She had an older sister. I felt butterflies. And I didn't know why at first. I just looked at her, this girl. She was wearing a leotard. It was fancy dress. She was a cat. And I just knew that there was something going on, and I didn't know what until suddenly, all at once, I realised, oh shit, I like girls. I like girls. I like girls. And I've always liked girls. And I still like girls. And who the fuck are you to tell me that I don't, when I have accepted everything that you've said to me? You want to be a man? Fine. You need to change your name. All right then. You want to wear those clothes and lift these weights and have an operation to give yourself a dick, whatever, right? I've accepted that because it's what you wanted, what you needed, who you are. And I tried to change. I tried really hard to change, but there are some things that I can't change. There are some things I don't want to change because they're part of who I am, and why? Is that less important? Why do I just have to stand aside and deny that? Because you're going on your own personal journey. I want you to be happy, and I want you to get what you want, but what you want is to kill the person that I love and replace her with someone that I don't. Someone that I can't. I'm gay. You want to be a man, Adrian. You want to be a man. And that's fine. But I like girls.
Berlin, a winter coat, a travel bag, a red nose, and a broken heart. I'm standing on the platform at the train station. It's cold, the train is late, and my socks are wet. I don't quite know how I got here or where I'm meant to go next. I met him 4 nights ago, and he was the most beautiful boy I'd ever seen. His name was Emmanuel, of course, and he came from Madrid. I've been travelling by myself for 3 months, a great European adventure. I've been saving for a year. Mum and Dad said, don't go by yourself. It's too dangerous. Go on a tour or take some girlfriends at least. But I said, I'll meet people, I'll be fine. Meeting people's harder than you think. I mean, I did meet people at hostels and stuff, but mainly other Australians, and that was fun for a night or two, but boys just wanted to have sex. And I mean, I guess it's all right, but if I wanted to have sex with an Australian boy, I would have just stayed in Hallett Cove. I keep wondering when it will start. When will life start? And then there he is at a club, emitter, dancing with his shirt off. And I think, wow, that guy can really dance. That guy is like fire. And then he looks over at me and I'm gone. I pretend not to be. I try to be cool. Make it seem like I'm not interested, but I am so interested. And we dance all night in the club. And as we come out into the light, I think this is it. This is life I'm living. And I know he wants to take me home. And I say, okay, because I don't want life to stop. 3 days we stayed in bed. And on the third night, I do that thing you shouldn't do. I watch him sleeping. And I think about the future. I imagine taking him home to meet mum and dad and my sister and brothers and them all loving him like they love me. And then he wakes up and looks at me like he knows what I'm thinking and like he wants to get up and run. So I kiss him on the lips before he can. And he smiles. And when I wake up, he's gone, along with €400 from my wallet, my iPad, my camera, my favourite scarf, and a large piece of my heart. I walk the streets of Berlin. Feel small. I feel ridiculous. I feel like I'm 12 years old. I want to cry, but I won't. I feel like I'm literally going to fall to pieces, so to stop myself, I make a list of things I know, like actually know for certain to be true. And the really frightening thing is, it's not a very long list. I don't know much at all. But what I do know is that 25th Windry Avenue, things are the same since I left. And they always will be. I know I need to go home.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months. Hard to seem one, but I was won, my lord, from the very first glance that ever. Pardon me. If I confess much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but not till now so much, but I might master it. In faith I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mother. Oh, God. Oh, why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so in secret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not. Oh, but in good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Oh, sweet bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing that I shall repent. See your silence, cunning in dumbness from my weakness draws my very soul of counsel. Oh, stop my mouth! My lord, I do beseech you, pardon me. 'Twas not my intention thus to beg a kiss. Ah, good heavens, what have I done? I am ashamed. From this time I'm just going to take my leave, my lord.
Weren't those just amazing? Forming scripts is hard, let me tell you. The speech I'm giving right now, I didn't even write myself at all. Open Theatre has some more performances coming up as well. You can catch them tomorrow night at Stage at Leeds for the final performance of the The Passion of Bonnie and Clyde. And you can find out more information about their other upcoming shows at Open Theatre Leeds Society on Facebook and Instagram. Coming up next, we have Alice Drysdale from Comedy Society.
Hello. Welcome back to one of the first uni performances of the year. Haven't the rest of the act tonight been brilliant? I particularly enjoyed the monologues by OT, having my stuff stolen by a 3-night stand, #relatable. Now, this is one of my first performances since, the thing which must not be named. And no, I'm not talking about the time the last plant I overwatered and killed. No, this is my first performance since the pandemic started. Fun drinking game. Every single time somebody mentions the pandemic, I'd take a shot if I were you. It's such a relief to be back on stage. I've really missed the rush of adrenaline and the constant dread that comes with performing on stage. You know that feeling of literally having 1,000 eyes on you, challenging you to entertain them. But I will rise to that challenge, mon ami. Because I have agreed to do that, and I am contractually obligated to do so. I figured with it being my first stand-up performance since the pandemonium began, I'd sit down and tell you some old tales of my time partaking in some role-playing games, or RPGs as they're also known. Now, if you don't know what an RPG is, it's the idea that you have a friend who creates a world, and then you and your friends create a character that can be based in that world. And then you follow along with a story, and you roll some dice. And if you come across a difficult situation, you roll some dice to determine the outcome. The most famous of these is Dungeons & Dragons, or D&D. We do like our acronyms in D&D and RPGs. But basically, yes, you've got a person running the session who created the story, and you playing your character who follows that story. Now, I say follow. No one ever follows the story set out by the DM or Dungeon Master. There we go with another acronym. It is the constant bane of anyone running a session that your players never follow along with the story you created. There was this one time, I say one, but there was this one time my friends and I were playing this space/sci-fi type game, and there was a point where we ended up in prison. We hadn't done anything wrong, just a classic case of being kidnapped by the antagonists of the story after losing an extremely important battle. Prior to the session, our friend had already said, "Oh, yeah, I've been chatting with my partner about this, and I'm really excited about the next bit of the story. I'm really proud of it. I just want to make something I know that you'll all really enjoy, but I also know you're kind of quite difficult to predict. You're quite chaotic." My friend was being so kind when she said that. Chaotic and unpredictable are the understatements of the year to describe us. But just to be clear, she was incredibly proud of what she came up with, one of the best things she'd ever written. So me and my friends, or rather our characters, are in this prison. We just lost a battle and we're feeling very downtrodden. And we're stuck behind this thick metallic door, and we're bricking it. Our single aim in this campaign had been to bring down the big bad. Capital B, capital B. Every single fight was about making sure that this giant evil AI named Merlin was destroyed. So obviously, we're not exactly their best friends. My character was this captain called Nix Yeldezev. Great name, even if I do say so myself. Prior to meeting the rest of the team, they'd been running a spaceship for about 1,000 years. They were for 1,000 people. They had, for sci-fi reasons, seen civilizations come and go over thousands of years. They were cool and calm under pressure, ready to tackle anything. But after losing this fight, they were quite despondent, fed up, just happy to let the world or the plot take them where they needed to. The rest of the team were trying all sorts of things to try and get out the room, but they were just happy to chill out, take a break for a bit. One of the group was like, "What if we try smashing in the window?" They rolled for it, got a 7 out of 20. And they were not successful.
what if we try and attract the guard and get them to let us out? Rolled for it, got a 3 out of 20. But as you can imagine, did not go well and may or may not have extended our stay in prison. Finally, the last person suggested, what if we smash down the door? All of us, even my character, were like, can't be done. Don't even try. It's not worth it. A door that thick? Of course, it's like a red flag to a bull. My character's name was called Gavroche. He came from a penal colony and was as hard as nails. Takes no shit. Smooth Southern American accent, definitely not modelled on Benoit Blanc from Knives Out. He walked up to this door, shoulders square, and gave it an almighty shove. The door doesn't budge, doesn't move. Barely looks like it's been touched at all. The only thing that's been hurt is Gavroche's ego. He walked away, tail between his legs. Next up is Nis, postal worker by trade before joining our gang. He named his ship after Hermes, the messenger of the gods, and ironically, a ship delivery company. He also swaggered up to the door and tried bashing in the lock. This, unfortunately, but not altogether, unsurprisingly, attracted the attention of the guard, who opened a panel at eye height. Oi, mate, what are you doing? All of us play dumb, as if butter wouldn't melt in our mouth. We've never done a single thing wrong in our life. Not one, not ever. How dare you accuse us of doing anything? I've never breathed a day in my life, and the fact that you think I would, the cheek of it. The guard at this point looks more confused than ever. Well, all right, but don't do anything stupid. As I said before, you'll get the chance to ask any questions you need later on when you talk to Merlin. The panel shut, and we all turned and looked at each other. Did he say Merlin? Surely not Merlin. I'm not ready, neither physically, emotionally, nor mechanically within the game. Oh dear. With a renewed sense of urgency, we all agree with a look to continue to bash down the door. The final character I have to introduce is Ozzy. He's this young, fresh noble, and it's his first time outside the family unit. He absolutely believes he's the bee's knees. He thinks he knows there's everything to know about the world, but honestly, he can barely tie his shoelaces together. He walks up to the door. All of us, by this point, are completely without hope. There's no way he can get through that door. We've all tried, well, except for myself, but I'd already given up by that point. No way can the man who locked himself inside of his spaceship, didn't have the strength to pull the emergency hatch, and had to be broken out, successfully help us to escape from prison. Ozzy, with no sense of self-awareness, and clearly doesn't remember the spaceship incident as well as we do, walks up to the door and starts kicking it. Our DM then asks Alex, who plays Ozzy, to roll to see if he's successfully broken down the door. Who rolls? The Discord call is tense. 18, Alex declared. We all cheered. We were through. We could escape. And with that, our DM described the door, how the door began to buckle. Slowly at first. At the sight of this, Nix, my character, overcame their apathy and joined in, banging down the door. The rest of the party also joined, their hope finally renewed. The guard outside was apoplectic. But you said you weren't doing anything. You weren't even breathing. The door groaned and the hinges broke. Incredibly, unlikely, and almost impossible, the thing occurred. 4 people who are not the strongest by any stretch of the imagination had broken down a prison door with their bare hands. Our characters then took that cue and ran off in the opposite direction of the guard. The session ended there and we said our usual goodbyes. But just before we were about to close the call, our DM said, offhandedly, the guard was never going to take you to Merlin. That was never my intention. I was going to take you to a place called Camelot. You would have been able to find some really useful information, potentially very useful supplies, and almost definitely some disgruntled ex-employees of Merlin who would have happily helped you take him down. Probably would win you the fight in the end. Moral of the story, listen to your DM when she says she's really proud of her work. Thank you very much. I've been Alice Drysdale, and I hope you enjoyed this little story.
Wow, I never thought roleplay could be that exciting. I might have to give it a go myself. Comedy Society puts on multiple gig nights and events throughout the year and regularly hold sketch shows and improv classes. So if you think you're funny, unlike me, give it a shot, or if you're not funny at all, still give it a go. You can find out more about all of this at LU Comedy Society on Instagram and Facebook. Next, we have the wonderful Holly Wilden, who's playing some folk and country music.
Hello, I'm Holly. I'm going to be playing 3 songs tonight, and the first one is called Golden Embers. Just like an old friend, kinder than expected. That Cadillac came, gave a girl a ride. Loss has no end, it binds to our connection, but we don't speak of it, don't even try. If you can help me share the trouble, then you've got burning in you, then you can help me, and in our time together, our memory will ever shine like golden embers in the night. I miss the old hymns that she used to sing. Sparrows spread their mortal wings. Now they've all lighted with the silence of strings, like notes on the pages. She breathes life into all things and tried to help me share the trouble that you've got burning in you, then you can help me, and in our time together, our memory will ever shine like golden embers in the night. Just like an old friend, reach out to me, bathe me in the light of understanding, and try to help me share the trouble that you've got burning in This next one is a Rhiannon Giddings song called We Could Fly. And I really like the story behind this one. It's about how slaves in America believed that when they died, their spirits flew back over the oceans to their homeland, which I think is a really lovely story. Sorry, try again.
Mama, dear mama, look in yonder tree. See the pretty little sparrow looking back at me. She can soar above the clouds way up in the sky. She can fly away from here. Why can't I? Daughter, dear daughter, I'll tell you something true. Remember Granny Lasso? Well, every night she flew. They tried to keep her down, but there was nothing they could do. 'Cause she could fly, she could fly. She could slip the bonds of earth and rise so high. She could fly across the river, a spirit in her hand. Searching away, searching for the promised land. Mama, dear mama, mama, tell me more. I feel a trembling in my arms I've never felt before. Daughter, dear daughter, listen when I say your granny always told me you'd feel that way someday. 'Cause every time she looked at you, she saw the old time ways. When we could fly, we could fly. We could slip the bonds of earth and rise so high. We could fly across the mountains together, hand in hand. Searching away, searching for the promised land. Mama, dear mama, come and stand by me. Feel a lightness in my feet, longing to be free. My heart it is a shaking with an old, old song. I hear the voices singing. It's time for moving on. She took her mama by the hand. They rose up in the air. They held each other tight and then they flew away from there. They held each other tight and then they flew away from there. 'Cause they could fly, they could fly. They could slip the bonds of earth and rise so high. They could fly searching, oh, we're searching for the promised land. Oh, we're searching for the promised land. Thank you. I'm going to change it up a bit because, as is tradition in folk music, I've just played 2 very depressing songs. So I'm going to cheer you all up with a song that I'm going to try not to play too fast. I'm going out on the highway, gonna listen to them big trucks whine. I'm going out on the highway, gonna listen to them big trucks whine. And that white freight line is gonna steal away my mind. Well, it's bad news from Houston, half my friends have died. I said it's bad news from Houston, half my friends have died. And that white freight line is gonna steal away my mind. When New Mexico is alright, some people there will treat you fine. I said New Mexico is alright, some people there will treat you fine. And that white freight line is gonna steal away my mind. Oh Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back from where I came. Oh Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back from where I came. And that white freight line is gonna steal away my pain. Oh, that white freight line is gonna steal away my pain. Thank you.
Wasn't that wonderful, folks? It reminded me of a much simpler time when I was young and happy and not waking up in a random living room with a fruity bucket hat on my head questioning all my life choices. You can find out more about Holly on social media at Holly Wilder Music. Now, we're drawing to a close here tonight, and we wanted to end on something that really summed up how we're feeling. So, without further ado, I present to you Pantomime Society performing Backstreet's Back!
Everybody, yeah. Rock your body, yeah. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body right. Backstreet's back, alright. Hey, now, oh my God, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody sing. Gonna bring the flame, I'll show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Yeah. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. Just don't care. If you wanna party, let me hear you, yeah. 'Cause we got it going on again. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now.
That was Pantomime Society performing the dance to their upcoming show, Romeo and Juliet. The Society puts on inclusive, hilarious pantomimes, which are often classic tales with a modern twist designed for a Leeds audience. Whether you want to sing Queen in an 8-part harmony or tell sex jokes from inside of a horse, Panto has it all. Come and see them perform Romeo and Juliet from the 8th to the 11th of December right here on this very stage, or catch them at their Black Tie Jazz Bingo fundraiser event on the 1st of November. All this information can be found on their Instagram and Facebook at LU Pantomime Society. Now, sadly, that's all we've got time for, guys, and I really want a pint. So can we please get a massive round of applause for all the performers for this evening? And once more for all the film and technical crew down there at the back as well. And if you've liked what you've seen and you want to know how on earth it was all put together and run, you can find out more on LU Backstage and Leeds Student Television on Facebook and Instagram too. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. I've been Alex Buckmaster. Good night!